audition on the instruments you've practiced on. It is very good to audition with the mallets that you've practiced with. And it's really good to practice with your stand at the height that you've practiced and on the snare drum. So it's kind of worn off by now, but carpenter's tape is a real cheap way to indicate things. I've used this for a while. But that's where I like to hide on this particular stand for my concert snare drum work. All these little things add up to putting you in a comfortable zone so that your preparation allows you to play as well as you can play when you add the factor of it's audition time or clinic time or performance time. As many things as you can do to legislate against those variables getting in the way of you playing, you'll play better. I wish you well. Any questions, please? Yes, ma'am.
Is there going to be a 4-mallet piece this year?
This year there is not a 4-mallet piece. It's just 2 mallets. That's good news. And that's an ATSSB. I haven't looked at the TMBA material. Typically it does. It does. Okay. So if you like to play 4 mallets, good for you. If I was a college teacher, I'd be going to get your name in a question like that so she can play. Okay. So there are 2 different auditions, most of you know. Any other questions, please? Any answers? Any better answers? Yes, sir.
How would you recommend the buzz roll phase?
Most of the time I will play buzz rolls in something like this. I'll take a 16th note. I might do, depending on my drum and my sound that I'm listening for, I'm not as calculating about it as I used to be. I might do 32nd notes, which is close to what I'm doing. I'm actually doing something pretty mathematically asymmetric. I might take 32nd notes in case. That's a little bit fast for me, so I'm probably doing 5/8 and 7s and things like that myself. We're not always worried about what works for me. I go for a sound as much as anything. I want it to sound, I don't want it to sound choked. I don't want it to sound open. See, that was a really long first one, and then 32nd notes on me. That's a dotted A, and a dotted A, roll to a tap. 2. That's what I'm doing in this one. But I don't calculate it like I used to. I actually just use my head and my hands do it. You'll get there. I mean, it's a great question. Think through that, and you do the answer is the one that works for you. It doesn't have to work for me. It has to work for you. Okay? So that's your real answer. It is calculative and just hear in your head as best as possible. Let your hands do it. Sometimes we have to let our body do things. Let our body decide not to be so methodical. Being methodical and mathematical gets you started. That's very good. Excellent question. Thank you. Other questions? We take other answers here too, by the way. You know, John, when I played that one, it works a lot better this way. Some things about the timpani I didn't think to mention. Since you're only changing pitches here and here, put your feet there and leave them. Because we're doing crossovers, get your stool, get it up at a height where it's just, there's plenty of room to maneuver. This is going to require you a stool for the time that you have. I have probably half a dozen or more stools. This is from Sears, cost me $50. I have 2 of these. And it's, what I like about it is I can get the height way, way up. And I can get it way, way down. Sometimes the gig is going long. Sometimes if I really need to play quiet, I'll go way down. Sometimes if I really need to really play out, play loud, but I still need to be seated, I'll get it up so I have room to maneuver. The Great Pines of Rome, the last movement, which is so loud, up till the very end, I'll have this up high so I get plenty of height on the sticks. And then I stand to get maximum height eventually towards the end of it. Most band literature won't require that. Most orchestra literature doesn't either. Use a stool that's sturdy, it's quiet, grease it up, oil it up before you go to auditions and performances, because they love to squeak during the worst time. All of mine do too. And it's not pretty, but it works. Yes, sir.
I just want to point out that all the videos will be on the ATSSB website, the link, right? So if there's any
Also on your flyer, if you come up with a question, you can contact me direct. Today's Percussion Clinic is brought to you by ATSSB, Houston Symphonic Band, Forte Piano Organ Company, my employer, who's paying my rent, the room and such, so they get a plug too, okay? But if you have any questions, just contact me. It's okay. That's my personal email, so it won't interfere with my job. I am happy to help you going forward.